95.7 The Game.
All right, what's going on? Matt Stein, Matt Starrow, the Guru Johnson with you. And let's welcome in Brad Graham. Brad, I want you to check out his YouTube channel, TheSFNiners. You can also follow him on X, at Graham_SFN. Brad, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Steiny and Goo, thank you so much for having me.
All right, I'm gonna start with this question. Why do you think Kyle Shanahan was calling timeouts during that Rams drive late in the second half as they were moving down the field, getting closer to score? And would he have done something like that a year ago?
I think Kyle Shanahan, as he's continued to evolve as a head coach, is just really trying to put himself in a better position to score more points. Obviously, it sounds cliche, but as he's driving down the field and they're trying to get into scoring position, trying to conserve clock and manage the clock in more favorable situations, I think it's really all that comes down to. He's just trying to put his team in the best position to be successful.
I feel like what he was basically saying to the Rams is, I will not let you score with 3 seconds on the clock. That's
really
maybe
what it feels like.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, do you think he'd do that with Garoppolo or with any other quarterback?
I really do believe right now with what we're seeing out of Kyle Shanahan is this trust that we haven't seen with the San Francisco 49ers, whether it was Jimmy Garoppolo or dating back to C.J. Beathard or Nick Mullins or the long list of quarterbacks that have played for the 49ers, even Trey Lance. The amount of trust that Kyle has in Brock Purdy to drive down the field with 6 seconds, hike the ball, and get the ball out of bounds to make sure there's enough time on the clock to even still sneak it in for a touchdown, I would say that's ultimate trust that Kyle has in Brock Purdy.
Brad, I'm going to be honest with you. Saturday, all week prior to the game in L.A., I didn't give the Rams a chance. I just didn't. Can I ask you what was going through your mind as that game was tied 17-17? Like, what did you attribute the Rams being able to do that you didn't think they could for that game to be tied?
Honestly, I attributed it a lot to the Rams' offense. You got to give Stafford and Sean McVay a ton of credit for the game plan that they had against Steve Wilks and that defense. They were taking advantage of the soft zones. They were taking what was given. Puka Nacua went crazy with 15 receptions. He went absolutely insane. And so I got to give a ton of credit to the Rams and their game plan. And being at the stadium, I was sweating a little bit, and I was because I did expect it to be a larger margin of a victory, or at least a more handled game plan and situation that we were getting at that time. So I have to give a ton of credit to their offense and the way that they were game planning against the 49ers defense, but also credit to the 49ers defense for making halftime adjustments and getting things in line in order to put themselves in position to win that football game.
Brad Graham joining us on 95.7 The Game. You can check out his YouTube channel, the SF9ers. You can also follow him on X at Graham_SFN. What do you anticipate, or I should say, what's the latest on Brandon Aiyuk and his status for Thursday against the Giants?
So we are hearing that he has gotten a CT scan. There wasn't a bone break, or it doesn't sound like there was any ligament damage. And this was from Jack Hammer, who reported that earlier from the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. And it does sound like he will have an opportunity to play if he can play through the pain. But it does sound like it is trending in a good direction in regards to no structural damage, which is the main thing that we're looking for. Because if Brandon Aiyuk misses Thursday, I don't think it's the end of the world. If he were to miss multiple games for the 49ers, I think that's where we would definitely be concerned. But it is sounding like it's trending in the right direction, and we're just waiting to hear if he will be available this Thursday against the Giants. And obviously these next two practices and his participation in those will tell us a lot about his availability.
Brad, I came in this morning and my partner was just talking about the Chubb injury and injuries just all around Aaron Rodgers, and how when you watch football now, every team's one injury away, and it's been that way, but it seems different now. We heard Kyle talk yesterday about how he just forgot and I think the world of Kyle and his brilliance, but he forgot about Elijah Mitchell. What did you make of that confession?
Well, I think from Kyle's perspective, when you have Christian McCaffrey at running back, it might be easy to forget the guys behind him, Jordan Mason as well, because Christian McCaffrey is just a elite running back in the NFL. He's leading the league in rushing yards, and you see how dominant he is, whether it's the stiff arm to Ahkello Witherspoon down the right sideline, weaving through the tackles to score a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to give Kyle Shanahan a little bit of a break forgetting about Elijah Mitchell. But, I interact with a ton of fans daily, and one of the things that I hear all the time is, when are we going to give Christian McCaffrey a rest and allow some of these guys like Elijah Mitchell or Jordan Mason to get some touches, just to give Christian McCaffrey a break? But also on the flip side, he's an elite running back, arguably the best running back in the NFL. So I'll give him a little bit of slack for
there you go.
Using Christian McCaffrey all the time.
Brad, I know that the fans have been talking about it. Did you make anything of Brock Purdy's overthrows on Sunday?
I've definitely gone back. I've watched the all 22, broken it down, and honestly, I think I understand why people may be concerned about the misses on the deep ball, but you also have to talk about the beautiful ball that he threw 35 yards downfield to Juwan Jennings on the back shoulder. Absolutely beautiful pass. He had the one to Deebo Samuel in the back of the end zone that if it isn't a pass interference, there's a good chance Deebo Samuel comes down with that football. He put it on the upfield outside shoulder towards the back pylon. And when you look at the misses to Aiyuk, Deebo, and then you had another one to Juwan on a deep in-breaking route, they're really close. Like, it's not egregious overthrows. Like, when I think of egregious overthrows, I think of last night, Deshaun Watson sailing balls out of bounds.
Oh.
That, to me, is an egregious overthrow. When I look at what Brock is doing, it comes down to timing. And these guys with more reps together with Aiyuk, with Deebo, I really think they're going to figure this out. And what I do like and appreciate and respect out of Brock Purdy is his willingness to take the shots. We've seen more deep ball throws from Brock Purdy than any other 49ers quarterback under Kyle Shanahan. So his ability to keep dealing and keep taking those shots, and again, the Juwan Jennings deep ball completion came after he missed all those other ones. So he just keeps going, and I think that's one of the most commendable traits that he has, is he's not deterred by missing these. He's going to keep going, and eventually he's going to start hitting them. And I think it's going to be more, this discussion is going to be more of the past when it comes to should we be concerned about Brock Purdy missing these deep throws.
Good stuff, Brad. Good stuff. So I just told you and my partner, I learned my lesson from underestimating the Rams, but the Niners got a game in 2 days, and it's against the New York Football Giants, who came back after being down 100 points, didn't score against Dallas. Brad, where are you at with what the Giants are bringing to the Bay? Do they have a chance?
I mean, Goo, any given Sunday, right? Any team that
Al Pacino.
It's the NFL, right? So it's like any team that steps on that field has a shot, technically. But when we look at the Giants, it does sound like they're going to be out with Saquon Barkley, their star running back and a huge focal point of that offense. And without him, obviously, they turned to Matt Breida, former 49er. Again, he was an undrafted free agent with the 49ers. They ultimately traded him for a fifth-round pick. But that is a huge, huge missing link for that Giants offense. And honestly, I really do think that the 49ers are in good shape, of course, to win this game. They match up well. And, they have a lot of young wide receivers on the outside for the Giants. And I just feel like the 49ers right now are the better team. And so, of course, Goo, any team has a shot to win, especially on a short week. But the Giants are having to fly across country. It's prime time, home opener. Levi's is going to be rocking. It's going to be a really, really tough task for those Giants to come in to the 49ers home and beat them on their turf.
Hey, Brad, thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, that's Brad Graham. Check him out on the YouTube channel, TheSFNiners, and on Twitter at Graham_SFN.